Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Man, my heart was beating like hell. Those last 30 minutes, oh my goodness. We are only 2 games into the season, and you already know, like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard season, like getting these wins. But listen, that is Crystal Palace away. I know it is not the best of performances, but I'm absolutely buzzing with that. The problem with some already seen Arsenal fans saying, by the way, hopefully you can hear me. Everyone expects Arsenal to go to Crystal Palace and win by 4 goals to nil or 5 goals to nil. It is never the case. Going to Crystal Palace away, especially whenever they tell us Monday nights, Friday nights, Arsenal never wins this game. If I'm not wrong, I had it some. I think this is the first time Arteta is winning a game on Monday night, if I'm not wrong. So that is a plus. Again, a clean sheet, a first clean sheet of the season going away to Crystal Palace, and then with 10 men. Last season, we didn't pick up any red cards. This season, I predicted Arsenal to pick up like 3 red cards. I didn't expect it to be this early in the season. But obviously, the rule changes in terms of wasting time and taking time to throw in and arguing with the referee. There's going to be a lot of yellow cards and red cards. But going to Crystal Palace, picking up the win. Before he got the red card, we had possession like 80-something possession, and they had like 15. We were dominating the game. It was looking likely that we'll get the second goal. Obviously, people have a problem with the starting lineup and all. We'll talk about that one. Declan Rice was absolutely fantastic today. At the end of the game, did we have like 10 defenders on the pitch? I even lost count or lost the names of the people who were on the pitch. I think Gabriel was there, Zinchenko's there, Kivia was there. Defensively, absolutely fantastic. Even after picking up the red card, I don't think Crystal Palace had a lot of very good chances. So defensively and midfield-wise, Jorginho did well when he came on. Rice did well. Partey did well. At right back, many people don't like Partey at right back, but Partey did well today. So going to Crystal Palace, even if you look at Man City's results at Crystal Palace, I think Clash is on the 1-1-0 there. The previous season, I think it was 0-0. The previous season 2-0, the previous season 0-0. So it is never easy going to Crystal Palace and picking up a win. So many teams will struggle there. You see, we've picked up a 1-0 win there. Just wait and see when Tottenham go there, when Man City go there, when Man United go there, all those teams. Everyone is going to struggle. It's never easy playing at Crystal Palace. So picking up that win, it is 100% positive. Obviously, we'll talk about the negatives as well. Let me know what you made of the game, the first half, the second half as well. I'm so relieved, man. Like, I did not want us to drop points that early in the season. But hey, 3 teams are on 6 points, and Arsenal is one of them. We are keeping pace with Man City, keeping pace with Man City, yeah? Keeping pace with Newcastle and Brighton. We're keeping pace with Brighton and also Man City. 3 teams have 6 points, and one of them is us. Next up, Fulham, go and get the win, 9 points out of 9. So you're not going to always like beat every single team 5-0, especially not away at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace away, Aston Villa away, this kind of teams, you have to dig deep, and today we dug deep. Which means did we pick up the red card? It's disappeared, but yeah, we picked up a red card in the 66th minute. So we had to defend for 30 minutes with 10 men. Very tough, but we did it. Back in the day, if this was Arsenal, I remember all those games, guys. Man United, 2011. Jenkinson, I still remember it very well. Jenkinson picked up a red card against Man United. We lost that game 8-2. Gibbs picked up a red card against Chelsea. We ended up losing that game 6-0. And it happened so many times. I think Bayern Munich, one of the 5-1s at the Emirates, I think the last game in the Champions League that we played, I think Koscielny picked up a red card and you were trashed. 3 years ago, not even that long ago, 3 years ago, if Arsenal picked up a red card, it was done. We'd concede 2 goals. These days, we've not picked up a red card recently, but today we picked up a red card totally different. The mentality is there. Everyone is working hard. This guy was amazing today, Declan Rice. Defensively, the likes of Saliba, by the way, that tackle in the first half, Jesus Christ, what a player. All of them did well, absolutely did well. So let's go through the match reaction. Let me know what you guys are saying about this match. And also let's take a look at the lineup that we started with today. So it was still Thomas Partey at right back once again today. We'll talk about that one as well because I know a lot of people don't like Partey at right back. But this was Arsenal's lineup today. Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu at left back, Saliba and Ben White at centre back. Gabriel was not playing again today. It's actually a surprise. One, because Gabriel played all 38 games last season and he's never really on the bench. And if anyone was to be dropped, I'd imagine maybe... I know it's very hard to remove Ben White Saliba from this team. It's impossible. But Gabriel being dropped is actually weird. I think now that Tomiyasu is out for one game, I think Gabriel comes back in unless Zinchenko starts at left back and then Gabriel sits on the bench again. I don't know. But I guess we're going to revert back to Gabriel being in the lineup soon. Although there's rumors that Saudi Arabia have been talking to Gabriel. But I'd like to imagine they're not going to sell him. I don't think they're that crazy. If you sell Gabriel, then who do we have? We only have Kivia there. So I don't think it is possible especially having a left-footed centre-back like that one. I don't think we have too many like that. So I'd like to imagine Gabriel is not going anywhere unless he himself wants to go because of that money. I don't know. Ben White and Saliba at centre-back, Partey at right-back, the best right-back in the world. Midfield, Declan Rice, absolutely superb. We also had Havertz and Odegaard, and then up front, Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah. On the bench, Raya for the first time in the Arsenal bench, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Kivior, Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, Smith-Rowe, Trossard, and Nelson. Now, one thing I don't like about most of you Arsenal fans, whenever I've seen the comments, like whenever the lineup comes out, like everyone like is already complaining. Like we can't be doing that before we actually watch the actual game. Like, and it's not about one thing. Like I see comments, okay, why is Tomiyasu at left back and then a bit? Why is Partey at right back? What is Arteta doing? He's trying too much to be like Pep Guardiola, apparently. Why is Havertz playing? Why is Nketiah playing? I don't feel the need of complaining about every single pick in the team unless it goes absolutely horribly terrible. I don't even think that's a term. Then in the next game, if he starts it again, then we'll complain about it. But in the first half against Nottingham Forest, I don't think we struggled against Nottingham Forest because he had Nketiah and Havertz in the team. We scored 2 goals in the first half. We dominated second half. Everyone went off the boil and everyone stopped playing, and we considered a goal to make it 2-1. But today, I didn't really have a problem Nketiah starting. My lineup for today would have been, I wouldn't have started Havertz for today. I would have started him for Fulham this weekend. My lineup for today had Rice, Partey, and Odegaard in midfield, and then Ben White at right back, and then Gabriel, Saliba, and I think I actually put Kivior there or something, or Zinchenko to start one of them. That was my starting lineup. I wanted Rice and Partey in midfield. I'm also not a big fan of Rice of Partey at right back, but most of the time, like against Nottingham Forest the other day, Partey starts as a right back, but he was in the midfield for about 85% of the time. I do get, like, when you're playing against Grealish and all those players, you can't play Partey at right back because it's going to be dominated because of the pace and all that. So in games like this, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, maybe it's a good, maybe it is his idea. I don't like it, Partey starting at right back. But whatever they've done in training, we don't know. Maybe that is how they've been playing the last 2 months in training. So we don't really, I don't think we can like actually ask him to start this. And if every fan was asking the manager for which player to start or advising the manager, some of you don't want Raya to start, some of you don't want Randall, some of you don't want Tomiyasu at left back. So with that said, though, I still don't like Partey at right back. I don't think we're going to use him there every single day. I'd like to see Gabriel, Zinchenko, Ben White, and Saliba as our back four. Let's take a look at the rest of our team. The other problem is many of you are complaining about Nketiah. I really wanted him to score, man. The turns, he made like 3 or 4 very good turns. Like he created 3 or 4 good opportunities for himself. But that chance in the first half, this one you have to not even score, you have to put it on target. You cannot try fancy things when the game is 0-0 away at Crystal Palace. Such kind of games, you don't get opportunities like this. You have to take it, especially for a player like Nketiah. He knows that many fans don't like him, so a chance like that, you have to take it. But second half, he came on, he won us a penalty that won us the game. So overall, when you do the player ratings, I'll try to look at the overall performance. But this chance, Nketiah has to score. Also, people had a problem with Havertz starting. As I said, today I wouldn't have started him. I would have started him on the weekend. I know maybe because Trossard started, I should have started. On the weekend, I would have started Trossard and Havertz, but I don't know what he's going to do. But I do think Trossard will start this weekend. I don't know how he's going to go, but I do genuinely feel like Trossard does deserve to start. Yes, he 100% deserves to start from his performances from January when he joined. The only problem was because he was playing in the same position with Martinelli, and Martinelli had one of the best seasons last campaign. He couldn't really be dropped. But over on the weekend, yes. Actually, what I'd do on the weekend, I'd start both Trossard and Havertz. Many of you are looking at that. Many of you are now watching the game just looking at Havertz, waiting for him to make a mistake. I don't like that. If he performs badly, I'm going to tell you he performed badly. If he performs well, I'm going to tell you he performs well. Against Nottingham Forest, I thought he performed well. Today, I thought he was too quiet. So we have to say how it is. Second half, won us a couple of fouls, but today, too quiet. Not that he got the ball and lost it or anything like that. No, he was too quiet. You have to go and ask for the ball. That is what you need to do. Especially Odegaard in the first half, he was being marked and Saka was being marked by Mitchell. They're basically very quiet, both of them. I mean, they got involved, yes, but Mitchell and the rest of the defense were doing a good job on Odegaard and Saka. So at that point, then you need Havertz to like stride and open them up. So in the first half, he was definitely too quiet. I'm actually surprised he played 90 minutes. It's going to be interesting. I really want him to score a goal because I know what people are waiting for. I really want him to score a goal. But does he? Should he start next time? This is tough. Who would you start between Nketiah? Who would you drop between Nketiah and Havertz to start Trossard? Because Nketiah, he got a goal last time. He got an assist today. He missed a very good chance, yes. If Jesus comes back, Jesus is straight back to my lineup. That is 100%. In the away games that are tough, like Crystal Palace and Man United and all those guys, I start with Rice, Odegaard, and Partey in midfield. But in a game where we can't dominate and like create a lot of chances, my lineup would be Martinelli, Saka, Havertz, Trossard, and Odegaard, all 5 of them on the pitch. But we don't know. But I'm out of the point of telling us, okay, you don't know what you're doing. You're trying too much to be like Pep. 2 games, 2 wins, and you kept a clean sheet. So it's we didn't expect a 3-0 win at Crystal Palace. But with that said, Havertz did set up a very good chance for Martinelli very early on in the second minute. Very, very good chance, a very good opportunity to like create something for himself, Martinelli. But he didn't take the shot at all. And in a game like this is a hard game, guys. In a game like this, if you get a chance, you have to take the opportunity. It's never easy going to Crystal Palace. Martinelli was subbed off later on, but that first half, you have to like try and take that chance. Yes, later on in the first half, him and Nketiah were trying to create chances and to shoot the ball and all. But when you get chances like that, you have to score. But you have to talk about Rice first. This guy was absolutely amazing today. Let me show you his heat map for the first half. This was Declan Rice's heat map in the first half. He was all over the place. Like, this is literally a box-to-box midfielder. Look at him. That was where Rice was on the pitch in the first half. Literally in midfield, on the right side, on the left wing, as a center back, as a right back. Like, Declan Rice was all over, making tackles, making interceptions. He even created, he's the one who created that chance for Nketiah. So Declan Rice today, yeah, that is why you have to spend that kind of money. Is he worth 105 million? Probably not. But that's today's market. He probably is. So Declan Rice, that first half, he was unbelievable. Even in the second half, I think he was great as well. You could see how happy he was when that final whistle went. He was doing an incredible job. So for him, I think Rice is going to really help us a lot this season. Partey did well as well today, but Rice, in terms of just being all over the place, creating chances, and it's not just today, even against Nottingham Forest, he could have had like 4 goals and an assist that day. So he's getting himself into the box, he's creating chances, he's coming back, he's making tackles. So absolutely amazed with that Declan Rice performance. He was keeping them very quiet as well. And even the second half, when you went down to 10 men, you need a player like that, a player who can play basically as 2 players. So Declan Rice, absolutely amazing in that first half. Obviously, we've talked about those 2 Nketiah chances. The first one, incredibly, the way he turned the defender and created the chance for himself, incredible. That is why you need him to score, though. Everything else was so good for Nketiah. He was turning well, he was holding up the ball well, but he never got the chance. He hit the post, very unlucky with that one. But the second one, you have to score. The second one, you have to, don't try it cheap. Even if you don't score, just shoot the ball. If it hits the post or the goalkeeper saves it, or if it's cleared off the line, that is fine. But you can't try to dink the goalkeeper and it's 0-0. I mean, the dink does show me that he's very confident. I mean, you wouldn't try to chip the goalkeeper if you're not confident. So he is confident. He believes in himself. That's one thing that Nketiah, he does believe in himself. That's one thing about Nketiah. But that chance like that, you have to take. And all of a sudden, it's 2 goals in 2 games. And people are a bit quiet. But in the second half, he kind of made up for it, because another very good run in the second half that won us the penalty. So we'll talk about him later on in the match. Odegaard first half, quiet, as I say, they were marking him pretty well. Also, Saka was a bit quiet. Mitchell did a very good job on him. It's rare that we see Saka and Martinelli being marked out of the game. I remember Martinelli against Trippier when he drew Newcastle 0-0 last season. Trippier did well on him. And today as well, Mitchell, I think, did quiet down Saka, and it's not easy. Whenever Saka and Odegaard are quiet, you do feel it. You don't create as many chances as we want, although Nketiah did create a couple of chances for himself, and Rice did well as well. So 0-0 at halftime. Ramsdale did also have a saving at halftime. Before halftime. So halftime 0-0. I was still confident. I knew this was going to be very hard because if they score fast, we're in big trouble. So we needed to come back in the second half and get an early goal. First half, we did create the chances, but we only had 1 shot on target, and they also had 1 shot on target. I think we had like 9 shots. They had like 7 or 8. So it was kind of a close affair, although we are dominating possession. But with the possession, you have to take your chances. And in the second half, we did that. A very good free kick from Martinelli, a very good run from Nketiah to win us the penalty. So do you guys think it was a 100% a penalty, or do you think Partey fouled one of their players? It shouldn't have been a penalty. Personally, I've heard them talking here. I do think it is a penalty. The Tomiyasu Red Card, man, goodness me. He did not even touch in the second one. The first one, let's go to the penalty first. Saka was holding the ball. Saka was definitely wanted to take the penalty as always, but the penalties we've seen Odegaard taking is not missed. Saka scored the last one against Man City in the Community Shield, and he scored as well against, was it Man United, I think? Saka missed his penalty against West Ham. He missed another one, right? Yes, I think against Barcelona. That was the game. Saka missed a game against the penalty against Barcelona. He literally put it off target. But I think against was it Sevilla in the community, Monaco in the community, Monaco in the Emirates Cup and Man City in the community scored both his penalties. So I thought he was going to take the penalty, but Odegaard stepped up, very coolly slotted. I'm so happy that, man. We needed that because we don't get chances like that in a game like this. You have to take it. Man City as well, they do win some games 1-0 by scoring penalties. I remember them beating Fulham last season via a penalty. I think they beat I think themselves, Man City beat Crystal Palace last season 1-0. I think it was a penalty. So chances like that you have to take full advantage of. But then things got very difficult. Tomiyasu got a yellow card for wasting time. It was not only him. I think someone else had the ball for like 5 seconds and then gave it to Havertz. Havertz had the ball for like 10 seconds. And then the referee was getting fed up. And then Havertz gave the ball to Tomiyasu. And Tomiyasu was with the ball for 8 seconds. And the referee gave him a yellow card. Do I think we were wasting time? Not necessarily. I mean, we also want to go for a second goal. And it was the 59th minute. Surely you're not going to waste the minutes from the 59th minute, like waste time from the 59th minute. We still had like close to 40 minutes to go. But did we take too long to take the throw-in? Yes. So that is a yellow card. If I was the referee as well, I'd give Tomiyasu a yellow card because we took more than 20 seconds to take the throw-in. So that one, referee, yes, that is a yellow card. Throw-in, it took too long. But the second one, though, he literally did not touch him. He literally just tapped him. And he got the red. And like Tomiyasu did not get any warnings today. Like yellow card right away, red card right away. So this was not a red card, man. You have to give the player warning. I understand him like turning, and then he was. I think Saliba was actually there. Saliba would have made a tackle, but Tomiyasu did not touch him. Do you guys think this is a red card, or do they think he should have let the game continue, just give a free kick and give him one last warning because he did not touch him? The first one, yes, yellow card. This one, not a red card. And the moment you get a red card in a game like this, I think Aubameyang got a red card away at Crystal Palace as well a couple of years ago. The moment you get a red card in a game like this, you are in big trouble. Absolutely big trouble. You're going to have to defend, man. And it was looking like we were going to get a second goal or create a couple of more chances. But the moment you get that red card, things are going to go crazy. And that is our first red card of the season. Last season, we finished the whole campaign without a red card. This season, I was expecting us to get like 3. The first one has already come. The rules have changed, especially Arteta expecting to pick up a bunch because he like argues a lot with the referees. So they're going to target him and they're going to give him a lot of red cards. But Tomiyasu getting a red card, it's a blow. Now, some people are saying, yeah, but you get a red card, you can still score like West Ham did yesterday. Some of those games are like that. Yeah, there's like 5% of those games where you can still win, like we did today, even with a red card, and still try and score. But 90% of the time, if you get a red card away at Crystal Palace, you're not going to dominate as you are. Like literally, we had like 85% possession and they had 15. Literally, after we got the red card, 5 minutes later, I think they had 86 and we had 14 in terms of possession. We went full on defense, and I have no problem with that. In a game like this, you just have to get away with the 3 points. We made the sub. We took off Martinelli and brought in Gabriel. I don't know why Gabriel is starting on the bench. I also have him in my FPL team, so it's a killer that time. He's not starting any games. I'd like to know why, though. I definitely do not want to see him leaving. I'm hoping he's not even considering leaving. I don't think he'll consider leaving. I'm sure he wants to win like a few trophies and all, and Arsenal is in a good position. Unless he gets some crazy money. He recently just got a baby, so maybe he'd feel like Saudi Arabia money is good. He also signed a new contract recently, right? Like, I don't think Gabriel would leave, honestly. But he came on, and he did an absolutely incredible job in terms of defending. And from that point on, it was basically defending. Partey almost cost something crazy. He almost gave away a penalty in the 72nd minute. Do I have a picture of that? I don't have a picture of that. But do you guys think the Eze penalty was supposed to be a penalty? I've had the referees talking, Gallagher, and he said it was too soft. He was already going down. I've also had a couple of watch-alongs saying that he was already going down. And these are non-Arsenal fans. I'm not telling you about Arsenal fans. Non-Arsenal fans were saying it was not a penalty. And so referee today, absolutely terrible. The first yellow card for Tomiyasu, yes, that was time wasting because he had the ball for too long. Second one for Tomiyasu, nah, man, you have to give him a warning. And then if he does that again, red card. The Eze one, I'm not sure, man. I'm not 100% saying one. It's definitely not a penalty. I need to see it again. It might have been because I saw Partey's leg dangling there. Maybe Eze was going down too easily, but some referees would give that. So we have to say we kind of got away with that. So that is where my point from the beginning saying Partey in a game like this maybe can survive, but when he's up against tricky wingers like Grealish and Zaha, if you're still in the Premier League, and players like there's a couple of wingers who are very quick. Like if Mane was still in the Premier League and you play Partey at right back, you'd give away like 3 penalties. So in a game like that, you wouldn't play Partey like when that other team is going to have the ball and dominate you. So we got away with that one. But then again, IU should also have picked up a red card. If Tomiyasu is picking up a red card for that, IU as well fouled someone later on and he should have picked up a red card as well. Now, to be fair as well, Havertz at Arsenal, he also pulled someone on a yellow card, so he should also have picked up a red. So the referee was very inconsistent once again. The referee, these days, I don't even know what is a penalty, what is not. I don't know what is a red card, what is not. Like these days, we just guess. Because Tottenham Man United the other day, the handball, I thought it was supposed to be a penalty. Man United against Wolves last Monday, it's supposed to be a penalty. Like the refereeing is all over the place. But we got away with it, and then later on, it just went full-on defensive. Jorginho came on for Nketiah, Zinchenko and Nketiah came on for Saka and Odegaard, and it basically went full-on defense. But the one thing I liked about us the last 30 minutes, we were down to 10 men. Crystal Palace brought on so many attackers as well. They were going for it. They took off forward and brought in a midfield, I think a wing or something. But they never really created a very good chance. Mitchell put it off target, but apart from that, we didn't really allow a lot. Like Rice and Jorginho and all those guys in midfield were doing well. That's when Havertz started running a lot. Surprisingly, started running a lot and winning a couple of free kicks for us. Zinchenko, I think, got on the ball well and calmed down things. You need Zinchenko and players like Jorginho in a game like this to just calm down the team. And also Gabriel, when he came on, he was fantastic. He was putting in blocks, tackles, and then Saliba. Saliba is just Saliba. Another incredible performance from Saliba. Like, this guy is incredible. That tackle he made in the first half, oh my God, I thought it was going to be a penalty as well. But what a tackle from Saliba. He is a brave guy, because if you get a red card, if you give away a penalty that would have been a red card. I know about is it double something? Sometimes they're not supposed to give a red card and a penalty, but they do anyway. I do usually see it. And if Saliba got that wrong, it would have been a red card. So what a tackle from him. And in the second half as well, fantastic. I didn't see Ben White a lot today, but he didn't really make any errors. But I guess he was part of the team that kept the clean sheet. So pretty happy that we got away with the 1-0. I did not expect us to go there and win 4-5-0. Disappointed that we got a red card. Our discipline last season was great, so we didn't really pick up red cards. I was disappointed with Havertz. I'm not saying Havertz, because some of you are just looking at that game and saying, Havertz, oh my God, Havertz is crap, all that. No. First half, Odegaard was quiet. Saka was being marked well. I was disappointed that Havertz did not ask for the ball more and get involved more. In the first half, he missed a very good chance, but it was looking like if you'd score a goal, it was going to be him, because he was creating for himself and turning the defenders and all that. But second half, the first 15 minutes, I think Odegaard came into the game. Saka came into the game a bit, and who else? Nketiah won us a penalty as well, and Odegaard scored from it. And then after you get the red card, it's basically impossible. You just have to defend and defend and defend. So that's the game. I'm so happy you got the win. I'll come to the player ratings. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comment section. I am just so happy you picked up a win, because many of the big teams that are going to go there, they're now going to win. And everyone was also watching us, waiting for us to drop points. 6 points out of 6. I'm pretty happy, because this is a different Arsenal, man. Arsenal from 5 years ago would not have won that game. We'd have capitulated and conceded 2 or 3 goals in that final 20 minutes. Chancellor says that Saturday showed us that he can still do things despite of the red card he put on every single defender. I mean, most of us are not happy. Yes, some are not happy about Partey starting at right back, Havertz starting in midfield, and probably Nketiah starting up front. People are not happy about Gabriel not starting. But I'm of the opinion of, until it doesn't work, we've won 2 games out of 2. So unless we are absolutely dominated, and I'm like, oh my goodness, today we were absolutely dominated because Havertz was on the pitch, or Nketiah was on the pitch, or Gabriel didn't start. But we're not really being dominated though. Tuned from South Korea, Seoul, Korea. Thank you for watching, Dennis. Jordan Ayew deserves a red card, says Marchek. Yes. If you're giving Tomiyasu a red card, you should have gotten a red card as well. And I think Havertz as well. You have to be honest. I'm going to look at all incidents. Havertz as well pulled someone back, and I think he had a yellow card. So the referee very inconsistent. He could not wait to give Tomiyasu that red card. Thomas Partey is the defender now. Wow, says Ofana. I don't think you're going to see him there all the time. I'm with most of you. I want to see White at right back because his relationship with Saka is good. I want to see Zinchenko. Now that Zinchenko is back fully, I think the thing with Arteta is that he wants an inverted fullback in the team. Now that Zinchenko is out, he was doing that with Chapati at right back. Now that Zinchenko is back, I think you're going to see Ben White back at right back, and I hope Gabriel starts with Saliba. But Arteta loves changing things. Some of you say Arteta doesn't change things. For me, I think he actually changes things every single day. I don't think we can even predict what he's going to do next game. Next game, it could be Trossard at right wing and Ryan goalkeeper and Ramsdale in midfield. Like, you can't know what he's going to do. Eugene says, Arteta, please stop stressing us for nothing. Why do you want to complicate things by playing players out of position? Talk to your players. Also stop switching off and delaying each time they score. That red card was unnecessary. Yeah, fair enough. The second one, though, I don't think it was the foul. First one, yes, it was a yellow card for time wasting. Asiwaji says, I'm not happy how Arteta played with the emotions. Tough game. I do still believe that is a tough game, even if we had Partey not at right back and White at right back. It's still a game that you're not going to go there and win 4-0, 5-0. Now, I think against Fulham as well, it's like a game like Nottingham Forest. Fulham are better, but I think we're going to experiment again. But after that, it's Man United and very close. You're going to have Tottenham. So I don't think we're going to experiment a lot again. Tomiyasu should stop this idiotic thing, says Stanislas. I don't think it was his fault, though. As I say, the first one, the throw-in, Havertz had wasted a bit of time, and I don't know if it was Martinelli. So the two of them had wasted a bit of time, and then they gave the ball to Tomiyasu, and Tomiyasu was literally looking for someone to throw the ball to, but the referee had kind of told him, hurry up, and then he gave him an extra 5 minutes and he didn't throw the ball. The second one, no, that was not a red card. But then, looking at it from the other side as well, Zinchenko is coming back and Gabriel is on the bench and all those players. So when you pick up a red card like that, you could be back on the bench. So these days, if you mess up once, if you get a red card, even if it wasn't your fault, whatever, you're going to be back on the bench. So this is a good opportunity for Tomiyasu, but I guess it's good for him to rest because, he can't play 3-4 games without getting an injury. The issue of putting Thomas at right back, I didn't like, says Gibson. I also don't like it, but I don't think you're going to see it every single time. I think if Zinchenko is starting, I don't think you'll see Partey at right back. And I guess it's also a matter of trying to fit in both Partey and Rice. For me, as I've said, if he wants to play Havertz or Trossard as an extra attacking option, I would play either Rice or Partey. Put one of them on the bench and start one of them. You don't have to play both of them on the pitch at the same time, especially for Partey because of his injury. It's actually good for him to rest a couple of times. But I do get it's tough to drop either Rice or Partey and put the one of them on the bench. But if you have to start Havertz or Trossard, all that, start with Rice in midfield, start with Havertz, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, and Nketiah, and that is it. You don't have to force Partey to right back. You don't have to force it. So I don't know, man. We've won 2 games out of 2, though. So at the moment, and we've kept a clean sheet today. So at the moment, and I don't think even if we started with Trossard or Gabriel at centre back, like we'd have won 4-0 now. Crystal Palace is a tough game. It is a Navi end to the game, says Waru. Very Navi, man. I was sweating. I am doing good. Okay. I'm not happy with the manager, says Julius. Yes, I'm not happy Partey starting our right back, but as I said, we've won 2 games out of 2, so I can just tell you, well, I've won 2 games out of 2. What is your problem? You can easily say that. So, after Tomiyasu yellow card, I told my wife immediately that he will get a second yellow card because he quickly gets carried away. I wouldn't have predicted that. I thought we were like far past that because the last time we picked up a red card is a long time ago. When was the last time you even picked up a red card? I don't even remember. I think it was like Partey or Xhaka back in 2022 or something, Carabao Cup January last year or something. But yes, yeah, that kind of mentality is like back in the day. Arsenal usually do that, but yeah, a bit trash maybe. Tomiyasu is now becoming a useless player to Arsenal. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think the red card was like so obvious to the point of like you're the one who cost us this. Scored injuries has been worrying him, and a little chance he'll get to play red card and nearly cost us. I guess one thing I can say, maybe the second one, maybe don't give the referee an opportunity to send you off. That one I can agree with, because if you're on a yellow card and you get turned, you're giving the referee an opportunity to give you a red card. So I guess I would agree with that. Miyoba says, thanks for the win, but we need to strengthen our team, most especially the frontline. Arsenal is struggling to score. Again, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think we're struggling to score. Crystal Palace is not an easy team. Some of you are expecting us to go there and win 5-0. We were creating chances. Yes, Nketiah should have scored probably a couple of them. But then last season, we didn't really struggle to score goals. And you still have the same players. I don't think we're going to struggle to score goals. Right now, I think, I don't know if he's going to sign a winger or a striker. We don't know what Arteta is going to do. I would love to get a striker and a defender as well. But now that Timber got injured, we don't know how that is going to change. I'm sure we are going to sign at least one player. I don't know who, though. I mean, it would be great if you have another striker. Yes, I'm not saying don't get a striker. It would be great. But what I've always been saying, if Jesus is in the team, Jesus is a starter for me. I don't care which striker we are bringing. If Jesus is fit, Jesus is 100% starting in my team. So, we might not be playing fine now, but the guys are doing everything possible to get the valuable 3 points in the bag. Again, I don't think Arsenal played badly today. Again, some of you are expecting us to win 6-0. We created chances in the first half. We didn't take them. Crystal Palace didn't really have a chance in the first half. We had like 85% possession. Second half, we picked up a red card and he had to defend for 30 minutes. So we don't really expect to score from that. If we go against Fulham and then we end up winning that game 1-0 again, and then we struggle for goals, then in that game you can comment and tell me, Glenn, you are absolutely wrong. Look at this Fulham game, a game that you're supposed to win 4-0, and then we're struggling to score and you've only won 1-0. Then I can tell you, okay, let's look at the problems. But for today, I don't really think we like struggled in the game. It's not easy against Crystal Palace. Many teams will go there and they're not going to win. Arsenal should kill off the game when necessary. That one I agreed. First half, Marcelli should have shot, and Nketiah should have taken at least one of his chances, because in a game like this, you don't get that many chances. It was not an easy game, says Teddy, but I thank our boys for what they have shown us today, despite the red card. They fought until the end. Congratulations to the boys. That I agree with. Daniel says Tomiyasu needs to be sat down and talked to. He almost cost us today. Bad squad formation today, especially Kai should not be playing 90 minutes, says Girl. That one I agreed. 90 minutes, I don't think he should be playing 90 minutes, yes. Let's go to the player ratings and then I'll come to the rest of your comments. This is going to be a bit tough, but defensively I know exactly what I'm going to give the players. Aaron Ramsdale, I'm going to give him, and I said I know exactly what I'm going to give the players, but man, Ramsdale made a good save. I think, was it from Eze? He made a couple of good saves, I think, from Eze and someone else. I've forgotten the other one. But second half, I don't think they created that many chances. At that time, Ramsdale came out and just like threw himself to the ball, and Mitchell almost scored. He does have that in his game sometimes. But he kept a clean sheet and he didn't really make like obvious mistakes or anything like that. So I'm going to give Aaron Ramsdale a 7 for today. Obviously, right now he's in a lot of pressure. Like, we now have another goalkeeper on the bench to take your position. But for today, I'm sure he's happy that clean sheet and a couple of good saves in the first half. But apart from that, I don't even think he had a lot to do, really. So 7 out of 10 for Aaron Ramsdale. Defensively, by the way, these days we're going to be talking about Partey as a defender. But let's start with William Saliba. What a performance. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. That tackle in the first half was just so dirty, like that in terms of dirty good, like very, very good. Very, very good tackle from him. If he went wrong, it could have been a straight red card and we'd have been down to 10 men like in the first half, and that would have been crazy. Thank you very much, Ike, for the super chat. She says, I'm buzzing. We managed 3 points with 10 men. Thank you for the live stream. Much appreciate. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for supporting the channel. Yes, I'm buzzing as well with the 3 points. That's what you need. If you're going to get 3 points in a tough place like this, it doesn't matter whether it's 5 or 1-0. You come away from then. You run away with that 3 points. But again, as I've said, if we go and play the same against Fulham, and some of you saying if Havertz doesn't play well or all that, and you end up winning 1-0 or 0-0, then in that game we can talk about not scoring goals. But I don't think Arsenal's problem is scoring goals. I don't really think so. Actually, like last week it was defensive, and then now this week it's attacking. Like Arsenal fans change their opinions very quickly. But Saliba 8 out of 10 today, very very solid. Ben White, I'm going to give him a 7. He was playing at centre back. He's back to his old position of centre back. He was running a bit on the right side. In the first half, there's a pass he gave to Saka, like chipped pass, absolutely incredible. Like his connection with Saka, I absolutely love. So as well as keeping a clean sheet too. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Ben White for me is like 100% a starter. Like for me, I'd never say Ben White on the bench. Whether we're going to play him at right back, centre back, central midfield, Ben White is so cool and so composed with everything. He can play centre back, right back. Doesn't really make that many mistakes. When everyone was making mistakes last season, Ben White was the only one who didn't really give away a goal. So I do love him a lot. So 7 out of 10 for Ben White. Tomiyasu. It's tough because I don't think the second one was a red card. Yes, you're giving the opportunity to the referee to give you a red card, but I don't think it's a red card. For the first yellow card, yes, we are wasting time. We took too long to take a throw in. But, it was not only him. Like, the ball was on other people's hands before that, and then he was given the ball, and then he was trying to look for someone to throw the ball to, and he ended up getting a red card. In terms of the performance, I don't think he was bad. He was good. The likes of Ezek, sometimes he's moving from the 10 to the right side, and he's kind of marking them off out of the game. But if you pick up the red card as well and the game becomes tougher for us, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I'm not going to give him a 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10. When he was on the pitch for the 60 minutes, I think he was defending well. And then I think he was unlucky to get the red card, but we have to take that in consideration. It made the game harder for us. So I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Who else played in defense? Thomas Partey. He almost gave away the penalty. He needs to be careful. That's the one problem I have with playing at right back, because if there's a quick winger, he's going to throw his legs. I just prefer him in midfield. But with that said, there's a couple of passes Partey was picking up from right back and midfield. You can see his quality. That is why we actually rejected offers from Saudi Arabia, because I'm starting to imagine if we actually sold Partey and Gabriel, like things would absolutely change. We might survive for a couple of weeks or months, but like you have to have Partey and Gabriel in that team, whether it's coming from the bench or starting whichever. Like you have to have both of them on the pitch. Like Partey now, all of a sudden he can play like 3 positions for us, and Gabriel is coming on and doing great. So Partey for today, we don't like him at right back, yes, but he almost gave away a penalty. But apart from that, I think he was okay. So 7 out of 10 for Thomas Partey. Next up, what a player, man! Oh my, this guy, man, this guy. What a player! Now we are starting to see the 100 million. We are starting to see it. The first half, he was unplayable. The tackles, the interceptions, he was creating chances as well. Like basically, he was playing as a defensive midfield and attacking midfield and a number 8 as well. Like if you aren't here, like this was Rice in the first half. He was all over the pitch. Left side, right side, middle. He was in the Odegaard role. Like he was playing every single position in that first half. I absolutely love him, man. Declan Rice, absolutely incredible today. He's basically one of the reasons why we are able to win a game like that. I remember my Arsenal very well. You guys remember the Arsenal as well. If we had gotten that red card 10 years ago, when we had Javinho and a midfield of Wilshere, Ramsey, and Fabregas, there's no way we are going to win that game. Absolutely no way. But when you have a player like Rice, tall, physical, he's used to the Premier League, he's played a lot of London derbies before, he knows what this game is about. You could see him celebrating in the second half, what it meant after the game. You could see what it meant. So Declan Rice today, I think he was very good against Nottingham Forest, was unlucky not to score. But I think so far in an Arsenal shirt, I think he's also very good against Man City. But I think so far this is his best game in an Arsenal shirt. And if he keeps on playing like that, we're in a very good position. So Declan Rice, he also had a problem with his contacts. He even had a man of the match performance when the physio was trying to poke his eye. He didn't know how to put back his contacts, whatever he was doing. But 9 out of 10 for Declan Rice for today. Absolutely incredible performance. I love him, man. I absolutely love him. And he understands. He could tell from his interviews when he joined Arsenal, he could tell. He himself said the Arteta system is just crazy and the work you have to do, so he has to adapt immediately. So there's no time to like, okay, I'm going to wait 2 months or 3 months to adapt. No time, man. You have to hit the ground running. And I think he has 9 out of 10 for him today. Odegaard first half, a couple of times was like shoot the ball quicker, and you know how much I love Odegaard. But First half a bit quiet. I think it was also a bit of the Crystal Palace defense playing well. I think they kind of marked out Saka and they get a bit from the game. And that pitch, the way it's just like very close and the fans are giving you, and it's so hard, man. They're defending the likes of Anderson. They're putting in tackles, Lama and all those guys. Second half, Odegaard kind of picked it up. He was winning possession. He was creating a couple of chances before he got the red card. And also, he took the penalty and scored. He scored our winning goal. We absolutely needed that one. If he had missed that, he would have been talking about something else today. But yes, I actually do love his penalties. He's never really taken. And the other thing is, again, our formation and the system and everything, us fans can't even predict what Arteta can do next. So you can imagine the opposition teams and managers cannot even predict what Arteta is going to do. Also, in terms of penalties, everyone kind of expected Saka to take it, the goalkeeper himself. I think the goalkeeper had like a paper where he was like, he had written like where Saka takes his penalties. And the moment Odegaard grabbed the ball to take the penalty, like Johnstone, the Crystal Palace goalkeeper, he was looking back on the bench at his goalkeeping coach. He was like, oh my goodness, I thought it was Saka who was taking the penalty. Unpredictability. So no one knows what Arsenal is going to do next, even in terms of penalties. But I actually have no problem with Odegaard taking, because the penalties that he's taken for Arsenal, 4 or 5 of them in penalty shootouts, he's never really taken one in a game. He's never missed. I loved his penalty against Manchester City 2 weeks ago. I loved his penalty against was it MLS All-Stars? I loved his penalty against Monaco, yes. Like he's taken like 3 or 4 penalties recently, so I absolutely love it as well. And he scored the goal and a very good penalty, and that was the winning goal. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Not his best performance. Odegaard is like his best performance is 10 out of 10. Last season, he was just incredible. He's putting up 9 out of 10 performances. And in terms of away games, I think Odegaard and Saliba were our best players last season away from home. I think Odegaard was probably our best player away from home last season. Away at Aston Villa, Brighton, I think Chelsea, I think there's another game where Bournemouth, Brentford didn't play. Bournemouth, Odegaard was incredible in a lot of away games last season, but he scored the winning goal, so you have to give him a 7 out of 10, but I'm not giving him high because that is not his best performance in an Arsenal shirt. So 7 out of 10. It's like I still don't like Arsenal's comments on this guy, though. I don't think he's disaster class. I'm going to give him, I don't think he was as good as the rest, but I'm going to give him, it's so hard to mark Havertz because I know some of you are just waiting like, okay, it's terrible, it's crap, all that. Let's try and look at Havertz's game. In the first half, I've said he was too quiet. First half, too quiet. You have to, he didn't make any mistakes or anything, but too quiet. Now, let's take the whole game into consideration. In the first 2 minutes, Havertz got the ball well and turned and created a chance for Martinelli. Martinelli should have shot. I was happy with that piece of play. If we see more of that from Havertz, I'd be happy. The rest of the first half, I need him when Odegaard is marked out of the game. I need whoever is playing as the number 8, whether it's Havertz or Rice or Trossard. I need them to, you know what? Give me the ball. Odegaard is being marked. Saka is being marked. Bring me the ball and we'll work with Martinelli on the left side. I need that kind of composure, trust in yourself, believe in yourself, like get the ball and try to make things happen. Again, I don't think that's necessarily his game. I think he's been brought to come into the box and score an assist, not get the ball and run with it and dribble past players. I've seen him doing that for Leverkusen before. In the game, Nottingham Forest game, Havertz got the ball. He didn't get the ball a lot, but he was making tackles and interceptions. He was winning second balls. I love that about him. But yes, I do agree with some of you. 65 million, you have to like attack and score and assist. But you're only 2 games in. For today, second half, I think he was winning us a couple of fouls, but I think he was also lucky not to get a red card as well. And I think the yellow card, again, a bit unnecessary. I know you're trying to waste time, but a bit unnecessary. And again, you pulled someone back. The last 20 minutes, I think he was running a lot. So this is so tough. What did I give Tomiyasu? 5 out of 10. Kill me for it. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I don't think it was a disaster. Some of you are making it look too quiet. Yes, I agree with that, but I don't think some of you are making it look like Havertz is the worst player to play for Arsenal because of his days at Chelsea. That is what I don't like. Like some of you are starting seeing him in the starting lineup and saying, you know what, nah, he's terrible. If he's terrible, you are going to say it. I've just said right now, I was not happy that they get in the first half. Havertz, I was not happy with him in the first half. You need to go for the ball and get the ball and make things happen. Second half, I think he ran a lot and won us a couple of fouls and created a chance in the first half. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. If he starts again next week, you have to get to the end of a couple of chances. I need the Havertz I saw against Man City in the Community Shield. Against Man City in the Community Shield, he did very well. But I do understand as well, because Trossard has been playing very well, so Paul want Trossard to start. I don't know. I think Trossard could start in the weekend, but I think they are going to start both of them, Trossard and Havertz. Let's see if I'm going to be right with that. Let me know what you're going to rate Havertz and if you think I'm just talking crap. Havertz, 6 out of 10. Forward players, again, very difficult, man. Bukayo Saka, I don't think it was Saka's best game at all as well. I do think it's Mitchell who did well against him as well. It's not just Saka who played badly. I do think the defender played well against him. He did put in a couple of good crosses, yes, but a couple of shots, I was looking at them, I was like, no, Saka passed the ball, they don't need to shoot that. And then defensively, though, when we went down to 10 men, even last week against Nottingham Forest, Martinelli and Saka played very well defensively. So some people would ignore that. Some of you just watched the game and they're like, okay, Havertz did not score, Saka did not score, they were terrible. It's not just about that. Like everything else, you have to look at all the details, like the combination play. There's a couple of 1-2s from Saka and Odegaard that I loved. He was getting in behind as well from White passes and Rice passes as well. By the way, there's a pass that Rice gave to Saka in the first half. Like he just pinged it like this. I forgot to mention it. Absolutely incredible. So Saka, a tough one. It was not his best attacking performance. I also didn't take the penalty, but what did SofaScore give him? Let me just check. SofaScore have given him 7 out of 10. I don't know. I think it's like a 6.5. I think if I give him a 7, it's a bit too high, because I think Partey and White were better than Saka. So, no, we have to say it how it is. So I'm going to give Saka 6 out of 10 for today. Not his best performance. Let me know if I'm wrong, if you're going to give him a 7 out of 10. The last 30 minutes, I cannot lie to you. I was not watching individual players. I was just praying that the game ends, man. I was like just panicking all over the place. So 6 out of 10 for Bukayo Saka. Adding Nketiah before I come to Martinelli. I'm going to give Nketiah 7 out of 10. We are looking at the overall game. I know he missed a very good chance. You should not try to chip the goalkeeper from there, Eddie. You have to shoot it. You just have to shoot the ball and score. You cannot miss that. Even if you don't score, let the goalkeeper make the save, but you cannot be trying chipping the goalkeeper and all that. But apart from that, I think he did incredibly well. He created a couple of good chances for himself. He was standing the goalkeeper, the defenders. He hit the post and he won us the penalty as well. I think he made 3 or 4 very good runs and turns. So I'm giving him that extra point because he got us that penalty. And it was him. It was it Martinelli took the free kick, I think? It was basically Martinelli and Nketiah who created that opportunity for us with quick thinking. Because if they didn't do that, that would have been 0-0. Would have been in trouble. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. And for the same reason, I'm thinking of giving Martinelli a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 7 because that free kick was quick thinking from him. I think it was him. I hope I'm not wrong. I think it was Martinelli who gave Nketiah that quick free kick. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Although the 7s I've given Partey and White are like better 7s, like 7.5. So hopefully I'm not being too harsh on Saka. I'm going to rewatch the game, and if I made any mistake again, I'm going to come tomorrow in the live and talk about this game again. So recap again: Nketiah 7, Martinelli 7, Saka 6, Odegaard 7. I'm going to also give Rice 9. Rice was incredible, definitely man of the match. Partey 7, Tomiyasu 5, Saliba 8, White 7, Ramsdale 7. There's a lot of subs, so you have to talk about them as well. So Gabriel came on. I think he was fantastic. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Those last 25 minutes, Gabriel was just incredible, making tackles and blocks and all that. So 7 out of 10 for Gabriel. For me, next time, I do agree with you in this point. So next week, let's just go to the usual. Let's just go back to Ben White, Zinchenko, Gabriel, and Saliba. Let's just play our usual back four and keep it the same. Midfield, whoever you want to start between Rice or Partey or both of them, however you want to start it. In a game like Fulham at home, I don't necessarily think we need Rice and Partey, both of them on the pitch. What I want to see next week, I want to see Partey being rested on the bench. Also, remember, we don't want Partey to play every single week. That's another reason we've brought Rice, and I think we can still beat Fulham without Partey on the pitch. Put Partey on the bench. If he doesn't work out, bring him on. Keep him for the Man United game after that. I would start Rice in midfield, Odegaard and Trossard. the three of them in midfield, and then up front, I'd start Batelli, Saka, and whoever. Nketiah or Havertz, whoever, man. Now, Nketiah will start probably because he's gotten a goal and an assist today, so I don't think he necessarily deserves to be dropped. So would be my lineup. I would start Trossard, yes. Gabriel, 7 out of 10. Who else came on? Jorginho came on. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I mean, I think he was the experience when you're down to 10 men, you need that experience from Jorginho. I think he did well. The long passes as well took away the pressure from us. So 6 out of 10 for him. I am so happy to have Zinchenko back, man. Because, one of the reasons why Partey is playing as a right back is also because Zinchenko is not on the other side to play inverted. So, yeah, Tomiyasu cannot really play it. So, you're using Partey on the other side. So, I think Zinchenko as well wasn't on for too long. So, I'm just going to give him a 5 out of 10. Kiwi as well came on. I basically emptied the bench in terms of defenders. We just brought on every single defender I could find at the bench. But it worked. We won the game. So, Kiwi as well, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Mikel Arteta, it's going to be tough. Let's look at everything. I was not happy with how I was okay with Havertz starting the game. I have no problem with that. But I did not like him playing 90 minutes. I did not want Havertz to play 90 minutes, so that could be a mistake. Partey at right back, I don't like it, but I mean, it's not really cost us to this point. So I don't think you can, with heart out, saying, okay, Arteta was doing it, Partey at right back. I mean, it hasn't cost us at all. But I don't want to see him at right back every single time. Eddie Nketiah starting, I don't have a problem with. I think he had a good game apart from missing that chance in the first half. He's basically one of the reasons why we've won that game, because of that penalty. We kept a clean sheet, tough place to go at Crystal Palace. Not the best performance or anything like that, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I know some of you in the comments are screaming about it, but remember, we still won the game and he kept the clean sheet. And we won the game with 10 men, so I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. If I was to predict what he's going to do next week, absolutely no idea. Don't be surprised if he sees Zinchenko at right back next week. But I kind of have a feeling he's going to revert back to Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White in the back four. Up front, I think Havertz could start again. I do think Trossard does deserve to start, but then again, he might start Trossard but bench Martinelli, so you wouldn't know what he's going to do. But yes, that's a 7 out of 10 for today. We won the game, 2 wins out of 2. We've picked up a clean sheet. We are very good in terms of picking up clean sheets last season, so I'm happy that we picked up another clean sheet. So let's see how it goes next week. But it was not an easy game, and my heart is still pumping hard. Thank you for watching, Jeremiah. It's very late at night. That's the love we have for Arsenal. Thank you for watching. Arteta is not yet settled for this season. That's why he's making useless changes, hence players are on the bench. Trossard should start over Havertz, says Nelson. Arteta should not start Kai again if he wants to winning matches. We've won 2 games out of 2, Sunny, so I think that is what Arteta would tell you. Why can't we try Balogun? Oh, you're still thinking about Balogun as an Arsenal player? Oh, that is interesting. Balogun is already, in my head, Balogun left Arsenal 1 month ago. Balogun is not going to play. He's not going to be an Arsenal player. Although, there's someone who is back. Nicolas Pepe was back at London Colney today. So who knows? Could Nicolas Pepe be back? Just imagine, man. Just imagine if Pepe comes back and he actually becomes like a Saliba and changes everyone's opinion. That would be so amazing. I think I would cry if Pepe actually came back and started performing like the £72 million player. We'd not have been talking about getting backups for Saka right now. If Pepe was very good, it would be great. But he's back at London Calling. Let's see what happens. But the chances of him staying are very low, though. Party 8 says Abdul. Charles says we make opposition teams look too good because we give them confidence as we fail to convert our scoring chances. Yes, I'm not happy with the fact that we didn't score those chances in the first half from Nketiah. But I did not expect Crystal Palace to be easy. So I think if you expected us to win 4-5-0, that's not the case away at Crystal Palace. As I said, if you look at Man City's results at Crystal Palace, they won 1-0 last, and the previous year it was 0-0. I think the previous year 1-0, the previous year 2-0 or 0-0 again. It's never easy to go to Crystal Palace. Olani says Havertz is a waste. Trossard can play his part very well. Well, Havertz is cost why Arsenal is getting much. Havertz is cost why Arsenal is getting more chances. I think you meant Havertz is the cause why you're not getting more chances. First half, definitely quiet. I do agree with that. But I don't agree with people saying the worst player in Arsenal's history. Some people are just watching the game, and even if Havertz does something right, you'll never know it. Some people are just looking at the game, hoping that he fails so they can say Arteta out. That is where I have a problem with. If he performs well, you're going to say it. If he's too quiet in the game, we're going to say it. If he doesn't perform well, we are going to say it. The officiating in the Premier League is getting worse. Very disappointing, says Tony. Lack of focus and also credibility. Terrible, man. Like the kind of money they get paid as well, just terrible. So many bad decisions every single time. Saliba 9. Why put Partey right wrong position? I guess he just wants an inverted fullback. Now that Zinchenko is back, I'm interested to see what he's going to do now. The problem for Arsenal is Arteta because it's dismantling combinations that worked last season, says Sifo. We've won 2 games out of 2, so whatever we say doesn't really matter right now. He even created a chance from Nketiah, says also, yeah, he was incredible. Yeah, Declan Rice was just fantastic. Lenny says, why on earth would Arteta keep all natural left backs on the bench and force a right back to play at left back? I usually don't have a problem with Tomiyasu playing at right back. My starting lineup, I think I had Kivio starting at left back because personally, I do fear Zinchenko starting and getting another injury, so I would not have started him. The Gabriel Tierney was not even on the bench. I think Tierney is gone. Tomiyasu gets red still. He keeps the left backs out and drops Saka from the right into the left back position. I mean, again, Lenny, we did that and Crystal Palace didn't really get a chance. So that is what I'm saying. We cannot say it didn't work because we've won 2 games out of 2. So until it doesn't work, that's when you can talk about it. But as of now, we've kept a clean sheet with him doing exactly that. So it doesn't really matter right now. Let's see. Rice really loves Arsenal. Like you could tell immediately the way you're celebrating. What is the logic of Partey at right back is a CDM? He is, I guess it's just because he wants an inverted full defender. But remember against Nottingham Forest, as I said, Partey started at right back, but he was playing as a midfielder, I think 86% of the game. So he was not really at right back. He was playing in midfield. Today, yes, he was at right back. I don't think it cost us at all. I do feel like it takes away from our attacking potential from that right side, yes, in terms of going forward. But it hasn't not worked. I think we've won almost, apart from Nottingham Forest last season or something, I think we've won most of the games with him playing at right back anyway. So I don't think he's going to play Partey at right back every single day, especially now that we have Man United and Tottenham coming up. Spurs win was huge. Penalty is not a good win. So Shamsham, again, I completely disagree with that. If you look at last season, I think Man City won like 4 or 5 games by penalties as well. You have to take a win like that. Sometimes not everything is going to go your way. Crystal Palace away is not going to be easy. I can guarantee you that Spurs and Man United and all those guys are going to go there and are going to win. So going to Crystal Palace is not easy. That is when any chance that comes up, you have to take the chance. I literally have no problem with us winning that game 1-0. I'm over the moon with us winning that game 1-0. But are there things to improve? Yes, for sure. We have to take our chances, especially in the first half. You have to. Let's see. It's a hard fought very vital points. I wanted to see Trusted says Kamara. I'm putting my my heart I'm putting my what? I've forgotten the term. But I'm betting that he's definitely going to start next week, Trossard. He's definitely going to start because of the kind of game. I think, remember again, guys, I do feel like it's a bit of an overreaction because we are 2 games into the season. Everyone is going to play. At the end of the campaign, Havertz will have started 18 games. Trossard will have started 18 games. So we are 2 games into the season and we've won 2 out of 2. I'd love Trossard to start as well. Like the ability of him to shoot the ball from outside the box in that number 8 position. His dribbling and in tight spaces and all that. Trossard is incredible. His assist making and all that. Yes, I do feel like he deserves to start. So that I agree with. Katie is a 7, says a Sosa. Nketiah 5 says Tony. Again, I disagree with that. Now, again, the problem with Arsenal fans, you watch that game, Nketiah played well. He missed a chance, but we won that game because of him. His quick thinking got us the penalty. That game would have been 0-0. So you have to look at every single detail in the game. He missed a very good chance. I'm not happy with it at all. You have to score that. That is what I've said. But the rest of the game, him creating the chances for himself and winning us the penalty, it was not that just like, okay, anyone would win that. No, it was a quick thinking from him and Martelli to get us that. So I don't think it was a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 is average. I don't think he was average. I think he was good. in that game. Again, the problem with Arsenal fans, I know, even if Havertz scores a hat-trick and Nketiah scores a hat-trick, people just don't like them. And that is what I don't like. Like, people just see the lineup and they're like, oh, no, why is Nketiah starting? Blah, like, Havertz is crap, all that. Now, watch the game. If they play well, say it. And some of you, if they play well, people would keep quiet. Nketiah scored a goal last week, and people are not talking about it because they don't like him and they're waiting for him to fail so that they can talk about it. Havertz and Nketiah are not in my top 5 Arsenal players. But if they play well, I'm going to say they played well. If they play badly, I'll say they played badly. So far, some of you are making it look like Havertz has had 2 disaster class. He has not played badly. He's been quiet today, and against Nottingham Forest, he was okay. Would Trossard, you can say, instead of saying Havertz was crappy, he definitely needs to be sold, he's not really put up that performance that you're saying that he needs to be sold. No, he was not a disaster class. I don't agree with that. But I do agree with Trossard deserving to start. That I agree with. So let's be fair in terms of judgment. Nketiah was not a 5 today, Oscar. Let's be honest. Rice played well, says Tony. Gunnar Matters says, hey, Glenn, not the best game. I didn't see much of Havertz. That I agree. I also didn't see him. Nice seeing you, Gunnar Matters. Did not see him in the first half at all. Yes, I do agree with that. Rating has been okay. Havertz should have a 5. I gave him a 6 because of the second half and winning us fouls and, all that. I tried to look at the game as an overall. Like, how many times are you winning us free kicks? How many times are you taking the pressure away from us? How many times are you making good runs outside the box from inside the box and all that? And I think there was a couple of times where it was good. And by the way, I need to look at this stat. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka broke a record today. He had, I think he started, is it 82 games in a row for Arsenal? That is crazy. That is the most games anyone has ever started in a row for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka is incredible. Actually, he's never actually gotten injured. Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. Touch wood. But Saka he's always been there, man. He's incredible. He never gets tired. He's played like the last 2 seasons. Saka's played all 38 games the last 2 seasons, and today as well. So incredible, man, for Bukayo Saka. He's broken Paul Mason's record. That is like from back in the 90s. So Saka is just amazing. I should probably have given him an extra point for that. Tell us what's happened with Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson was on the bench. I think he's going to be brought back. There's games. That's what I'm saying. There's games everyone is going to play. There's some games where Kiwior is going to be needed. Everyone in that lineup is going to be needed. That's why after the first 2 games, I'm not saying Havertz is crap and Nketiah is crap. No. Believe me, both of them are going to help us a couple of times this season. Like Nketiah did today, we got the penalty because of him. And a couple of games, Havertz is going to turn up. Odegaard is going to turn up in his game. Saka is going to perform in his game. Today was not Saka's best performance, but don't be surprised this weekend. So Nelson will get his game. I want to see him this weekend against Fulham, at least for a few minutes. But also he's coming off the injury, so we have to take care of him and Zinchenko as well, not just throwing him both of them into the pitch, like into the starting lineup. Ode says, why is Arteta experimenting all these guys in the field of play? Partey playing at right back, Timber playing at left back. I mean, Timber playing at left back, I don't think you should be including it in this conversation. He had become the best left back in the league already at that point. Partey at right back, I also don't like it. But, I mean, it hasn't cost us, but I don't think he's going to do that every single time. I guess they've been using it in training, so we don't know what goes on in training. Genesis says, honestly, I'm happy for 3 points, but it'll give us an error because the sub in the lineup was abnormal because of the players he uses. How Jorginho would be out while Kai Havertz is on the pitch. Smith Rowe, Fabio, Jorginho, Trossard, Nelson, Atafala, much love to the streets. And National Family says, Genesis. Again, Havertz is not going to start every day. Nketiah is not going to start every day. Everyone is going to get a chance. So Arteta needs to start bringing in Trossard for a game. I agree. I think he would have brought him today, but just because he got the red card, he just changed things. Yes, I do agree with Havertz not playing 90 minutes. Yes, I would have subbed him off as well. Arteta should stop experiments. Preseason is over. You're struggling to win games, which should be easy wins. I 100% disagree with that, Lenny. If you watch Premier League, Crystal Palace away is never an easy game. So if you look at that, and I expect you to know that, Lenny. There's some people who don't usually watch football, but I would expect you to know that Crystal Palace away and Aston Villa away in games like that is not easy. Let us see. Let's see how Man City and Man United are going to do that. It's going to be 1-0 the most. It's going to be the same. It's never easy going to the end and winning. And again, I don't necessarily feel like it's because of the system. We created the chances. We missed. It could have been 3-0 by halftime. So we had like 90% possession. So I don't think the system did not work. I don't want Partey at right back, yes, but I don't think like the system cost us the game or anything. We won the game, and in the first half we had chances as well. Gabriel is not for sale, 100% Lovato. Let me take a few more. I would like to see Havertz playing in midfield, but never play him as a number 9. That's so us. With that said, though, I think when he played as a number 9 for us against Man City, did well than what he's done so far in midfield. So that is also crazy. David says, what's the news on Bitello, Kudus, and Fati? There was rumors about Ansu Fati this week. Kudus is gone quiet, and Bitello is gone quiet as well. We'll talk about transfers tomorrow. Saka is exciting and excellent, but he could be swapping positions with Martinelli. It would be a terrific telepathic Arsenal. We do that, but not necessarily switch both of them. I actually don't like Martinelli at right wing. I feel like he gives us more at left wing. So I don't have a problem with Saka playing at right wing throughout the game, but we do change. Odegaard sometimes go to the right and Saka goes to the mid. Like we do change sometimes. We can't take this thing into Champions League. We need more players. We can't take these things into the Champions League. We need more players. Hopefully we get one more. I've still had people saying that, okay, with this squad right now, how far do you think Arsenal can reach in the Champions League? With this squad right now, like with Jesus fit and Zinchenko fit, how far do you think we can get in the Champions League? Good one to Arsenal, says Banjo. Danjan says the lineup is the problem, but again, Danjan, as I've said, it worked. We won the game. So until it doesn't work, that's when you can start blaming it. But yes, what my starting lineup would be for Man City for Fulham next week, I would bring back Gabriel. Yes, that is what I'd do. And I would play Ben White at right, but that is what I'd do. But we'll talk about that game next week. David says quarterfinal. I do imagine so as well. So I still feel like we can beat most of the Champions League teams. And that is not just coming from my opinion. I've had people doing their predictions, like different fans from different teams. And most of them have said, like, surely Arsenal can beat Galatasaray. Surely Arsenal can beat Fenerbahce. Surely Arsenal can beat FC Porto and all these teams. I think we have a good squad and everyone is fit, and you have Zinchenko there and Jesus there and Trossard there and Saka. They think we have a good team. Sometimes the injury cost us, like right now, like without Jesus and all those guys, team and all that. Let's see what you're going to do. We have 9 days before the transfer window closes. I still think we can beat Fulham without the transfer window. But maybe this week and the next weekend we start hearing a bit of maybe deadline day signings or something. But let's see. Yeah, that's cool, but you expect more goals. Yes, we did create the chances today, but I'm saying like away at Crystal Palace is never easy. Like most teams are going to go there and struggle, especially this is their first game at home. So their fans are hyped up. They want to beat Arsenal. We beat them, I think, 6-1 on aggregate last season or something like that. So they are pumped up. So let's look at the positive side. We played with 10 men for 30 minutes and we went to Crystal Palace and he kept a clean sheet, so that is good. Very interested to see. These days, I'm really looking forward to Arteta's lineups, man. Like, we don't know what is going to happen, but we got the win. It's two wins out of 2, 6 points out of 6. I think we are third now behind Brighton and Man City. Let's wait for next week. Should be another win against Fulham. The Champions League draw is getting close. I think it's in 10 days or something. I think next week, Monday or Tuesday, there's a Champions League draw. So exciting times, man. We got the win. Fantastic game from Declan Rice. He's my man of the match. Have a good night, guys, and see you tomorrow for some transfer news.